These are the 4 pillars of morning routine success that allowed me to go from $0 cold calling attorneys in a basement with my law firm marketing company to doing over $20 million a year in revenue in under 5 years. And these 4 pillars are the key. They're the secret to my personal success, and I'm going to share them in this video so that you can roll out whatever you see fit in your life to dial in your morning routine a little bit better. When I first started doing morning routines, I was like adamant about following a very detailed process. So I had every single detail of my morning routine planned out, literally to the point where I would the first step of my morning routine was to smile when my alarm went off. And then the next step of my morning routine was to put my leg off the side of my bed so that I could get out of bed. It was that granular. And the reason it was that granular is because I learned from a lot of my mentors after I overcame my problems with anxiety after my family went bankrupt in 2008. I learned from a lot of my mentors that if you can control your morning, you can control your day. And I got very far down the spectrum of controlling my mornings, almost too far. And one day I got really burned out with it. And I started losing faith around my morning routine. And I decided I was, instead of following a detailed process in my morning routine, instead, what I was going to do was I was going to follow principles in my morning routine and be a little bit more flexible around those principles. So here are those 4 principles that I promised you in this video. The first principle is goal setting. Every single morning, you need to prioritize setting or writing down, communicating the goals, so setting or resetting the goals that you are approaching in your life. Every single morning for the last, 5-6 years, I have written down my goals every single morning. And I write down my goals in the present tense as though they are real in the here and now. And I also write down 5 things I'm grateful for, which I'll get to in a little bit. But the importance of writing down, physically writing down and verbally reciting your goals every single morning is one of the most powerful activities you could ever do in your morning routine, because what it does is it controls this piece of your brain that's called the reticular activating system. And the reticular activating system makes it so that your brain only focuses on the outcomes that you desire. Most times we spend the majority of our lives as human beings focusing on avoiding the outcomes we do not desire. That's called fear. That's called anxiety. And I spent years of my life in that state. And once I started writing down my goals and reciting my goals out loud every single morning, holy crap, my entire viewpoint around life changed. My language patterns in my head changed. And instead of saying why I can't do something, I started asking myself, how can I make X goal come true? Another thing that happens is something that's called cognitive dissonance. Okay, so in the human brain, cognitive dissonance means when you have written down a goal or stated that goal out loud 1,000 times, for example, your brain starts to feel cognitive dissonance around not making that goal come true. Meaning if you've told, let's say you tell a significant other, like your wife or your husband or your girlfriend or boyfriend, let's say you tell someone you love every day for 1,000 days straight a goal that you're going to accomplish. Eventually, another piece of your brain is going to kick in and it's going to start feeling dissonance, meaning unease around the fact that you have not yet accomplished that goal. And that unease is going to end up being the fuel for you to accomplish that goal. And that all comes from writing down, setting or resetting your goals every single morning. So that's pillar number 1. Pillar number 2 is gratitude. Every single morning, there has to be a pillar in your morning routine where you are expressing gratitude, right? So how do you express gratitude? Well, the first place to express gratitude is when you wake up by smiling, right? So when you wake up in the morning, do you have this feeling that today is a gift and I have been blessed with another day to learn about life, to live life, to serve at my highest potential? Or do you wake up in the morning going, where's the coffee, right? It's a completely different viewpoint. And I have trained myself that as soon as my alarm clock goes off at 4:45 a.m. in the morning, as soon as that alarm goes off, I have trained myself, because of my past very detailed morning routine, I've trained myself to immediately smile. And it's not a surface level smile, it's a deep soul smile. It's a smile that, man, I can't believe I get another day of this. I am so grateful that I get to do this for another day. So that's the first element of gratitude and how you express that in a morning routine. Another way is, like I said, I don't just write down my goals. I actually write down 5 things I'm grateful for before I write my goals. Remember this, the bigger your goals get, the more gratitude you need. Why? Because the bigger your goals get, the more things you usually get, the more problems you usually get when your goals become bigger. So we have to accompany bigger goals with bigger levels of gratitude, right? And that's why I force myself to write down 5 things I'm grateful for every single morning, in addition to smiling as soon as I wake up. And then a third habit around gratitude in the morning that you can do is always, every single morning, send a gratitude to someone, a text, a voice memo, send something to someone thanking them for what they do. And it doesn't matter who it is. It could be someone you didn't talk to for years. Send them a message and say, I am grateful for you for X, Y, and Z reason, and I'm lucky to have you in my life. And you do that every single day, your relationships will fire up in your life, and you'll start feeling better as a person. When you start expressing gratitude to others, you feel more grateful yourself. Okay, number 3, very important, is meditation. Meditation is a non-negotiable for me. I must sit down for between 11 to 16 minutes every single day. I do this on my sofa. Sometimes I have my dogs on the left and right side of me, licking me and stuff, and I'm like focused the whole time, trying to be focused. But nonetheless, meditation is an absolute must for me, because it's one thing to have crystal clear goals. It's one thing to be grateful, but it's another thing to not feel that you are in control of your thoughts and in control of your behaviors as a person, right? And for me, this is really important because of my past struggles with anxiety that I had. It's vitally important for me to feel that I have control over my thoughts and that I have control over my physical sensations in my body. So I do a very simple meditation every single morning. I scan my body from the top of my head all the way through down to my feet, and I feel every single part of my body, and I become attached to my body, right? I also allow my thoughts to pop up in front of my mind as though they are clouds floating by. And through perceiving my body sensations, I'm able to identify, is there tension in my body anywhere? And then I'm also able to identify, are there any thoughts that I'm resisting? Remember this, acceptance cannot exist in the face of resistance. So the art of successful meditation and mindfulness is not changing your thoughts, it's stopping resisting the thoughts that cause you anxiety. It's seeing those thoughts and going, that's okay, no big deal. That thought's never killed me. It's never caused any problems before. Hi thought, how's it going? Nice to see you again. I got to go on to other things, but it was great confronting you this morning, right? Let's move on now. So it's a loving approach to the thoughts that you have that don't serve you, right? And the body sensations that don't serve you. Maybe you have anxiety in your upper chest some days. Maybe you have it in your stomach. I don't know what it is for you, whether it's thoughts or body sensations. But meditation, mindfulness for me, is a place in my morning routine to become detached from my thoughts and my body sensations so that I feel in control of them. Okay? And the last pillar, which you've heard a million times, is exercise. And I mean getting the body moving, okay? I'm not talking about pretending that you exercised by walking outside for 3 minutes, okay? I'm saying like actually going and exerting your body before the day starts. And an amazing thing happens when you do this. Not only does it wake up your body, but it wakes up your brain, it wakes up your ability to focus. And actually, they say that exercise in the morning buys you back 2 hours of sleep last night. And what happens when most people don't sleep well is they don't exercise. They actually push it off because I need to recover, right? And that's the exact opposite thing of what you should be doing. So exercise recharges your brain. It gets more oxygen flowing into your brain and the cells of your body. And for me, the most important 2 habits that I have in my health arsenal in the morning is high intensity interval training, full body, and then stretching. So I stretch every single morning. I have a 21 stretch routine that I do that goes into my lower back, my hips, my arms, my upper back, my neck, every single part of my body. And this routine I memorized, and I can go through it like clockwork. And the reason why I memorized it is because I know that the flow of the body, right, can completely be stopped by just little postural movements in the body. And I want to shock my body every single morning that no matter how I slept, if I slept in a weird position, I control how my body's position is for the day. And that's what exercise does for me through stretching. And through exercise, high intensity interval training has been great that I've discovered because it works out every muscle in your body every single day. And there were phases I went through where I would just work out my chest, or I'd just work out a part of my body, or I'd do like just a walk or a run, which just really works out your legs more. And once I started doing every body part every single day, my entire life changed and my levels of energy changed. So those are the 4 pillars that I found that are non-negotiables for me in my morning. I hope you'll find yourself in one of those 4 pillars so that you can dial in your morning to turn your dreams into accomplished goals by using these 4 disciplines that I broke down for you in this video. Hit the like button if you like this. Give me a comment on what you're going to change in your morning routine, and make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel so I can see you in the next video. Stay great.